everybody, it's Justin from Destination Kia, and today I'm standing with a whole bunch of 2022 Kia Sportages. Now if you're unaware, the Sportage is one of our most popular vehicles in the entirety of the Kia lineup, and we have many customers that trade in one Sportage for another. Well, this year we have changed some of the standard equipment, including things like satellite radio. And if you find yourself in a new Sportage without satellite radio and you were unaware that you were losing that feature, then perhaps you're a little bit upset. Well, today I want to take a few minutes to show you one way we can work around that. So even if your vehicle didn't come with satellite radio built into the dashboard from the factory, I'm going to show you a workaround. So you'll still be able to access all your favorite satellite radio stations, and you'll be able to control those stations through the dashboard. You don't have to touch your phone at all once we take these initial setup steps. Let's take a look at how to do that together. All right, so now that we're inside the car, the first thing that I'm going to do is on my telephone, I'm going to look for my App Store. Now, just so you know, depending upon the type of phone that you use, the icon for the App Store may look a little different. If you use an Android phone, it'll look like this. If you use an Apple phone, it'll look like this. Now that that's out of the way, I've opened up the application store, and somewhere near the top, there's going to be a search bar. I'm going to click on that search bar, and I'm going to input the word Sirius. Now that's spelled S-I-R-I-U-S. I'll select that, and you can see it's the very first application that it presents to me. If I select that, you can see I've got this option to install, which I'm going to press that button, and I'll select that option, and the application begins to download. After just a few seconds, give or take, I don't know, 10, we will go from downloading that application to installing it. Now, I'm not doing anything, I'm just sitting and waiting as this is going on. Once the phone is ready for you to use that application, you'll notice that these options here on the screen will change color, and the button that says Open will become available to you. So right now it tells me it's installing, and there we go. We can see that the Open button has become available. So I'm going to touch that to open the Sirius XM app. Now, the first screen that you see when you open up the Sirius XM app will look something like this. After it boots and loads, it's going to give you options to either enter your credentials if you've already got a streaming account, or you can click Get Started. And if you click that, that looks something like this. It'll show you the options of the info you need to input in order to create an account. Now, if you've already got an existing account, but you only ever used it on the car, at this point, I would call Sirius XM. Explain to them that you're trying to set up a streaming account, and they can help you to finalize that. That being said, if you're comfortable doing it on your own, right there from the phone, go ahead and do so. Since I've already got my credentials, I'm going to input them. I'll input the email address that my account is attached to. And then I'm going to enter the password. Very secretive stuff. So I've entered my username and my password. Now I'm simply going to touch where it says sign in. Now the application lets me in. Since this is the first time I've logged into Sirius XM, I don't have any preferences saved. I don't have any favorite stations. But odds are good, if you're installing Sirius in this way, you've already got a few stations that you've heard that are your favorites, whether or not you've selected them in the app. Well, you'll notice here about the very middle of the screen, there's one option that says All Channels. And if you touch that, it will list out all the various channels that Sirius XM has to offer. Now, if you know what you're after, you'll scroll through and you'll find the stations that you like the most. Now, I know a lot of the stations that I like are up here in the realm of the number 20s. For instance, here, let's start with the Bob Marley channel. And up in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see there's a little star. I'm going to select that. You'll see it's now turned white, and it tells me that this is one of my favorite stations. Let's go back and choose some more. Oh, here's Pearl Jam Radio. That sounds pretty cool. I'll check the star. Grateful Dead channel. Checked the star. And, of course, let's not forget my top favorite, Fish Radio. Check the star. All right. So now I've got 4 stations that I've selected as my favorites, and I know I'm going to want to listen to them frequently. I'm not going to want to hunt for them once I'm listening through my car. Well, the good news is we've already done all the heavy lifting. At this point, I'm going to take a USB cable and I'm going to plug my phone right into my vehicle. Now, if you haven't done this yet before, you should check out my video on setting up Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, just so you're comfortable with what you can expect the first time you plug your phone in. But if you already have done that before, all you got to do is plug it in, and you'll see that here on the screen, Android Auto, in this case, becomes available as an option. That's the option I want, so I'm going to touch it. Now, by default, it comes up to my map screen, but you'll notice it's also giving me information about radio stations. Let's look more closely at that. Here's my Sirius XM app right on the screen. I'm going to touch that app. Now you'll notice it's defaulted to the last station I set as a favorite. But there's more stations, of course. Let's touch this back arrow in the upper left-hand corner. And you'll notice at the top of the screen there's a menu. It's got options like Howard Stern and recommended. Well, favorites is what I'm after. Let's touch favorites. Now, I've selected channels, favorite channels, so let's touch that. And you can see here it lists for me not only the channels that I've selected as my favorite, so it's a customized menu of only what I want to hear, but it also tells me what's playing on that station at any given moment. So right now, Bob Marley and the Wailers are doing All Day, All Night. REM is on Pearl Jam Radio doing Begin the Begin. And here we've got a live concert from Granville, Ohio. Well, and perhaps that's the one I'll select. But as you can see, all my favorite stations are ready to go, and all I got to do is give them a little bit of volume. Ready to rock.